Farwell.
Mike Moore.
Shirley Moore. Michelle Shepard.
Daniel Keene.
Lacey Farwell informative speech assignment. According to an article in the Huffington Post, the 2011 overcrowding rate in American prisons was 41% above the national level. Prison overcrowding is a very serious problem that most average people tend to overlook because it's not something that they personally deal with on a daily basis. If they would take a deeper look into the facts, they would realize how crowded our prisons really are and the negative effects that surface and result. Today I plan to bring those facts to attention. I'll be covering the causes, effects and hazards, and methods being used by the Department of Corrections in an attempt to manage prison overcrowding. First, I'll talk about the causes. When you think of a place being overcrowded, you instantly think that there are too many people in too small of a space. It's the same case in prisons. In an article published by Portland State University, they emphasize on these two factors. The first is the large increase in the number of inmates. This is due to new criminal offenses being added to the penal code and harsher penalties for certain offenses. For example, law enforcement and the justice system are really cracking down on drug crimes, so drug offenders are now facing harsher penalties than they did in the past. The second of these factors is the amount of living space is staying the same regardless of how many incoming offenders that they have. They're not getting new beds or more rooms, they're just using what they already have. Next, I'll talk about the effects and hazards, which are also mentioned in the article from Portland State University. The first of these is the amount of supply, space, and resources is staying the same. It's just simply not enough to go around. The staff is having to stretch all these resources for almost double the amount of inmates that they had before. The second is educational, vocational, and employment opportunities are much more limited, and also the rehab programs. The inmates aren't getting the rehabilitation and educational opportunities that they need to better their lives while they're incarcerated. The third is because they are not getting these opportunities and they're not getting what they want and need as far as resources and personal space goes, they're becoming more angry and aggressive, which it increases the risk of harm for other inmates and also the staff. Lastly, I'll talk about a few management methods that the Department of Correction is using in an attempt to get out of the overcrowding crisis. The first is more inmates are getting out on parole. For example, in Illinois, if you go in with an alcohol-related offense, if your sentence is 8 years, you go in and your sentence is automatically cut in half, so you'd only serve 4 years at the maximum. The second is more good time is being rewarded. According to an item from Northern Illinois University, some inmates may be eligible to receive credit and get time off their sentence for every day that they attend class. This is different from state to state. Some states may only give you a half a day off your sentence for every day that you attend, but some states may give you as much as 4 days off of your sentence for every class that you attend. The third of the management methods is alternatives to prison. These include probation, fines, or community service. These are for like the smaller offenses, but like the offenders just aren't getting off with nothing. As you can now see, prison overcrowding is a very extensive subject. There are simply too many inmates for the amount of space that is available, and the number of incoming offenders continues to rise. Inmates are losing opportunities to rehabilitate and better their lives while in prison, and because they are losing these opportunities and other resources, they are becoming more aggressive and angry, increasing the risk of harm to other inmates and even staff. The justice system is currently trying to get out of this overcrowding crisis. They are releasing inmates early, granting more good time, and giving offenders alternatives to prison. With all these efforts being made, we all hope that the overcrowding problem will soon be one of the past. Thank you.